Ladies and gentlemen, let us speak plainly today about wealth, not as a dream, not as a hope, not as a someday possibility, but as a certainty that can be drawn into your life with clear understanding and unshakable faith. The world of money is not governed by luck, nor by effort alone. It is governed by law, precise and unchanging, and if you learn to live in harmony with these laws, you will find yourself wealthier than 99% of the people around you. The first truth is this: abundance is not earned, it is attracted. Wealth is not a struggle, it is a magnet. You do not chase it, you become the type of person that money naturally seeks. To do this, you must cease all inner arguments about lack. The moment you say, "I am poor" or "I don't have enough," you are speaking a sentence that the universe immediately answers with more lack. Your words, your thoughts, your feelings are creative forces, and they shape your financial world. Speak prosperity. Think abundance. Feel the certainty that wealth is yours, and watch as doors you never imagined open for you. Next, understand that most people are financially blind. They work hard, they earn, they spend, and they remain chained to the treadmill of survival. You, however, must see clearly the patterns of money. Money follows intelligence, opportunity, and alignment with the unseen laws. It flows freely to those who recognize its presence, who respect it, and who direct it with conscious intent. To be richer than 99% of people in 2026, you must observe where wealth is congregating, what choices the wealthy are making, and how the invisible currents of opportunity are moving. Awareness is the key. Ignorance is poverty disguised as contentment. Another truth is courage. Not the courage of reckless risk, but the courage to make decisions in alignment with your highest prosperity. Most people hesitate, wait for perfect timing, and live in fear of being wrong. You, however, must learn that the universe favors the bold who act with wisdom. Boldness backed by clarity, by right understanding, and by a refusal to listen to the chorus of doubt around will place you in a different league entirely. The wealthy do not wait for miracles. They create them through decisive action rooted in understanding the laws of abundance. You must also understand the power of gratitude and generosity. Wealth is not a zero-sum game. The more freely you give, your time, your talent, your resources, the more wealth returns to you. The universe is not limited, it expands. A closed hand shrinks. An open hand multiplies. Begin each day acknowledging the richness already present in your life, and the universe will respond by pouring more into your experience. The person who walks in gratitude is a magnet to opportunities, connections, and wealth. The one who complains, covets, or envies will always find scarcity. The next principle is silence and concentration. Many speak endlessly of dreams, of what they want, of how they wish their life would be. Few truly quiet the mind and focus their inner vision. Riches are drawn not from scattered desires, but from concentrated, unwavering focus on a clear, defined image of the life you intend to live. Picture it, feel it, and act as though it is already yours. The universe recognizes this vibration and bends circumstances, people, and events to fulfill it. It is not wishful thinking. It is the law of alignment. Finally, remember that the path of the wealthy is not moralized by struggle. You do not need to exhaust yourself, compromise your health, or sacrifice your joy. Wealth is the natural consequence of understanding the invisible laws, aligning your thoughts and actions with them, and refusing to participate in the illusions of lack around you. It is simple, it is precise, it is available to anyone willing to claim it and live by its truth. In 2026, the difference between those who will be rich and those who will remain average is not motivation, it is understanding and application of these truths. Decide today to see wealth as a natural and easy part of your life. Speak it, feel it, act as if it is already yours. Reject the lies of scarcity, trust the invisible laws, align, focus, and give freely. The world responds to clarity, boldness, and faith. The moment you begin to operate from this understanding, you will find yourself richer than 99% of people, not through struggle, not through luck, but through simple, unstoppable, universal truth. The first and most essential truth about wealth is that it is not something you earn through struggle, sweat, or endless effort. Many people labor day after day, thinking that hard work alone is the gateway to financial abundance. yet they remain bound in a cycle of scarcity. The universe does not measure your worth by the number of hours you work, nor by how exhausted you make yourself. Wealth is a magnetic force. It is drawn to those who resonate with its frequency, those who think, speak, and feel as if abundance is their natural state. When you understand this principle deeply, the landscape of your life changes. You begin to see that the invisible world responds more quickly and reliably to your inner state than to any external action. The world you see, the money you attract, the opportunities that present themselves, all are reflections of your inner consciousness. If your consciousness vibrates lack, you will attract more lack. If your consciousness vibrates abundance, you will naturally draw money, resources, and prosperity to yourself without strain. It is not about forcing results. It is about aligning with the natural currents of abundance that are always flowing. Many people do not realize that money is not inherently difficult. It is not reserved for the elite, nor is it limited to those born into privilege. Money, like air or light, is available to all who are ready to receive it. The moment you release resistance, the moment you stop arguing mentally with the idea that there is not enough, the flow begins to move. Every negative thought, every whispered sentence of doubt, every belief that you are not capable or not deserving is a brick in the wall between you and your prosperity. These mental barriers do not vanish simply because you wish they would. They vanish when you consciously replace them with statements of faith, clarity, and certainty. Speak to yourself constantly in the language of abundance. Say, I am a magnet for wealth. Money flows to me easily and naturally. Opportunities for prosperity appear at every turn. Your mind is a fertile field, and the words you plant are seeds. Speak seeds of scarcity, and your garden will bear thorns. Speak seeds of abundance, and the harvest will be rich and overflowing. Notice how people who are constantly worried about money attract more financial tension. It is not coincidence, it is law. The universe, being responsive to thought, mirrors the inner belief back into external circumstances. But when a person consciously affirms their prosperity, when they dwell upon the certainty of abundance rather than the fear of lack, doors open that previously seemed locked. Opportunities appear, partnerships form, and circumstances bend to serve the one who aligns with the current of wealth. It is vital to understand that attraction is not magical thinking, it is the practical application of a universal law. You do not need to toil endlessly for recognition, for approval, or for an arbitrary standard of success. You only need to embody the consciousness of wealth. Feel it internally. See it in your imagination. Let it dominate your thoughts and your speech. Then act in ways that reflect this inner state, and the world will respond with the corresponding outer reality. One of the most common mistakes people make is thinking that earning money requires a visible external struggle. They assume that unless they are working long hours, taking on risk, or sacrificing comfort, they are not truly earning their keep. Yet the law of attraction does not care about struggle, it cares about alignment. A person may do little outwardly yet attract great wealth, because their consciousness vibrates with abundance, while another may work tirelessly and remain poor because their inner state vibrates with scarcity. This principle explains why some people appear to succeed effortlessly. Their financial ease is not luck, it is the natural consequence of an inner state that is in harmony with abundance. If you would truly understand the nature of money, you must study your own thoughts and feelings. Observe the words you speak about money. Do you say, I can't afford that, or I never have enough? Every such statement is a decree that shapes your financial world. Replace those statements with declarations of abundance, and watch how the invisible currents rearrange themselves to support you. Wealth is not a reward, it is a reflection. When you are internally abundant, the world shows you abundance externally. This does not mean you will never encounter temporary challenges. Life always presents tests, but these challenges are meant to strengthen your faith and clarity, not to punish you. Recognize that every situation can be turned into an opportunity to reaffirm your inner abundance. When you encounter lack, respond not with panic or complaint, but with the quiet, firm knowledge that the universe is infinite, and that wealth is your natural inheritance. Speak to yourself as a master speaks to a student. Affirm constantly, I am open to receive, I am aligned with prosperity. Every moment brings me closer to my financial freedom. Notice the subtle shifts that occur when you do this. Opportunities that were invisible begin to appear. Ideas that seemed far-fetched suddenly make sense. People who were indifferent now support you. Money is not a finite resource, it expands in response to your mental state. The more certain and relaxed you are about abundance, the more freely it flows. Another vital aspect of this law is the avoidant E of envy and comparison. To compare your financial situation with another person's is to shift your vibration away from abundance. Wealth does not depend on how much others have, it depends on your own alignment with the universal currents. Focus on your own prosperity, maintain your inner vision, and allow the world to rearrange itself in your favor. You must also understand the role of persistence in inner alignment. It is not persistence in struggle that attracts wealth, but persistence in belief. You may not see immediate results, and circumstances may seem contrary, yet if you maintain your inner state of certainty, the flow will inevitably manifest. Money responds to continuity of thought and feeling, not to panic or desperation. Every rich person you have observed began somewhere, often with nothing. Their rise was not due to extraordinary effort alone, but to their consistent maintenance of a consciousness that attracted wealth. They believed themselves to be naturally prosperous, and they acted in harmony with that belief. This is the key for 2026. If you wish to be richer than 99% of people, you must recognize that all your inner dialogue matters. Every idle thought about lack, every fear, every complaint is a signal to the universe that abundance is not your priority. Instead, cultivate a mind saturated with wealth consciousness. Visualize it, speak it, feel it. Let your mind dwell on the certainty that money is a natural part of your life. With this practice, RS will open that you never imagined. Solutions will appear to problems that seemed insoluble, and wealth will come to you in ways both expected and miraculous. The law is simple: align with abundance, and abundance aligns with you. Clarity is the foundation of true wealth. Without it, all effort becomes scattered, diluted, and ineffective. The majority of people wander through life with vague ideas, wishful thinking, and uncertain goals, believing that money will somehow come to them if they merely work hard enough. This is a grave mistake. The universe responds not to effort alone, but to precise understanding. If you are to be richer than 99% of people in 2026, you must cultivate a crystal-clear vision of exactly what you intend to receive. Know what you want. See it in your mind's eye and hold that image as though it already exists. Wealth gravitates toward clarity because it is organized energy, and the universe moves to fill the vacuum created by a focused intention. Confusion repels abundance. Vagueness blocks the flow. People who are unclear about what they want spend their lives chasing shadows, never realizing the fullness of their potential. They waste time on opportunities that do not serve them, and expend energy on endeavors that produce minimal return. Wealth requires the ability to see the path clearly, to recognize the avenues that lead to prosperity, and to distinguish between fleeting distractions and permanent gains. Once clarity is established, the next essential principle is focus. Focus is the power of concentrated thought and consistent action directed toward your vision. The world is full of those who have brilliant ideas but fail to follow through. They dabble, experiment, and then give up when immediate results are not visible. The law of focus is simple: energy follows thought. Where your attention rests, the universe arranges circumstances to match it. If your attention is scattered, your results will be scattered. If your attention is concentrated, your results will be concentrated. Focus requires discipline. It demands that you eliminate the noise, the chatter, the endless comparison to what others are doing, and the habit of shifting from one pursuit to another in search of instant gratification. When you hold unwavering focus on your chosen objective, all external events, people, and resources begin to align in your favor. Opportunities become obvious, synchronicities appear, and solutions manifest with surprising speed. Focus is not merely mental, it is also emotional. You must feel the certainty of your success as you hold the vision in your mind. This combination of mental clarity and emotional conviction is magnetic. It draws the elements of wealth, money, partnerships, ideas, timing, toward you with a force that cannot be resisted. Bold action is the third pillar that completes this triad. Knowledge and vision alone do not create riches. Many people possess great ideas and understanding of money yet remain stagnant because they hesitate to act decisively. Bold action is not recklessness, nor is it impulsivity. It is courage tempered by understanding, a willingness to step forward confidently when you recognize the path before you. The universe rewards those who move, who act, who demonstrate readiness to receive. Every wealthy person you have observed has taken decisive steps, often when fear or doubt threatened to paralyze them. They have made choices that others deemed risky, not because they ignored the danger, but because they understood the law that aligns action with opportunity. Bold action accelerates the flow of abundance. While hesitation delays results and indecision repels the currents of prosperity, courage opens doors that were previously invisible. It is through action, consistently applied in alignment with clarity and focus, that wealth becomes inevitable. Many people wait for perfect conditions, believing that timing must be flawless before they proceed. This is a trap. The universe operates on a principle of momentum. When clarity and focus are established, any forward movement, no matter how small, triggers a chain reaction that multiplies opportunities. Boldness acts as a catalyst in this process. Even small, confident steps taken regularly compound into large results because each act signals to the universe your readiness to receive and to manage greater resources. Another aspect of clarity, focus, and bold action is the need to prioritize relentlessly. Every opportunity is worthy, and not every task is aligned with your ultimate vision. The wealthy understand the value of discerning choices. They do not expend effort on distractions, social expectations, or tasks that do not move them toward their objective. Focus allows them to conserve energy, concentrate their talents, and deploy their resources where the return will be greatest. This is why clarity is inseparable from focus. Without a clear goal, prioritization becomes impossible. Without focus, even the best priorities are wasted on scattered attention. You must create a vision that is vivid and detailed. Imagine exactly how much wealth you intend to attract, the sources from which it will come, the ways it will be used, and the impact it will have on your life. Hold this image with emotional intensity. Feel the reality of it in your daily experience, and let it dominate your inner world. The mind cannot serve two masters simultaneously. If you dwell on fear, lack, or uncertainty, you are automatically repelling the very abundance you seek. Focus on the vision of wealth with unwavering faith, and you create a magnetic field that draws circumstances, ideas, and people to support it. Bold action reinforces this energy. It shows the universe and yourself that you are serious, that you are ready to receive, and that you will not be deterred by obstacles. In 2026, the difference between the wealthy and the average person will be the ability to combine these three forces: clarity, focus, and bold action. Many will continue to drift, waiting for external validation, inspiration, or motivation to strike. Few will understand that wealth is generated by internal alignment, disciplined attention, and courageous execution. Consider how the wealthy handle setbacks. They do not panic, nor do they abandon their objectives. They maintain clarity about their goal, they refocus their energy on solutions, and they act boldly to correct their course. This resilience, grounded in clarity and focus, magnifies their ability to attract wealth. Hesitation and doubt, on the other hand, weaken energy and dissipate opportunities. Every moment of indecision is a moment in which potential abundance slips away. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate a mental and emotional environment that favors decisive action. Train your mind daily. Visualize your wealth in vivid detail. Speak affirmations that confirm your clarity and your readiness to receive. Feel the certainty of your success as though it is already manifested. Then, step forward in bold, deliberate action, guided by the insight you have cultivated. In every opportunity, ask yourself, does this move align with my vision? Does it serve my objective? Does it bring me closer to my prosperity? If the answer is yes, act immediately. Do not overthink, do not wait, do not hesitate. Bold action combined with clarity and focus accelerates the law of attraction in ways that are invisible yet undeniable. Another key aspect of this principle is trust. Trust that the steps you take, when aligned with clarity and focus, will always yield a return, even if the result is not immediate, even if it appears to lead in a different direction. Trust that the universe is guiding you toward a larger and more perfect outcome. Hesitation born of fear undermines trust and obstructs the flow of wealth. The confident person trusts their inner guidance and takes action without delay. In summary, to be richer than 99% of people in 2026, you must develop absolute clarity about your financial goals, cultivate relentless focus on those goals, and take bold, decisive action that demonstrates your readiness to receive. Without clarity, your vision will be diluted. Without focus, your energy will scatter. Without bold action, the universe will not respond fully. The three must operate in harmony, like the components of a powerful machine, each amplifying the other. As you align these forces within yourself, you will notice that opportunities begin to appear with remarkable regularity, ideas flow effortlessly, and wealth comes with a natural ease that surprises those who still labor in confusion and hesitation. This triad, clarity, focus, bold action, is the secret that separates the truly wealthy from the ordinary. It is not taught in schools, it is not found in motivational speeches, it is a law of life, a principle that operates invisibly yet consistently. Those who master it automatically rise above the masses, not because they are luckier, more talented, or more deserving, but because they understand and live in accordance with a truth that most people ignore. One of the most overlooked and yet most powerful laws of wealth is the law of gratitude and generosity. Many people labor under the false impression that wealth is a matter of accumulation, that one must hoard and cling to resources to become rich. This is a fundamental misunderstanding. The universe operates on a principle of circulation, of giving and receiving, of flow. Money, opportunities, and abundance are like rivers. They move continuously. To block that movement through selfishness or resentment is to stunt the natural growth of prosperity. Gratitude is the key that opens the channels of circulation. When you feel grateful for what you already have, you are affirming the presence of abundance in your life. Gratitude is not merely a polite acknowledgement, it is a declaration of faith in the invisible laws that govern prosperity. The person who is truly grateful recognizes that every dollar, every opportunity, every gift is a token of the infinite supply of the universe. In expressing appreciation, you signal to the universe that you are in harmony with abundance, and that you are ready to receive more. C. Conversely, those who complain, who focus on what they lack, who measure their worth by scarcity, are effectively cutting off the flow of wealth. Every negative thought about money, every grumble about finances, every envious comparison to others creates a blockage. The universe responds not to desire alone, but to the vibrational frequency of your mind and heart. Gratitude raises that frequency. It magnetizes resources, opens doors, and aligns circumstances in ways that may appear miraculous to those observing from the outside. But the miracle is merely the visible expression of a universal law. Generosity is the counterpart of gratitude. It is the active demonstration of trust in the flow of abundance. To give freely, without hesitation or fear, is to declare that you have enough and that the universe is infinite. The wealthy understand this principle intuitively. They do not hoard, clutch, or fear loss. They give, they share, and in return, more is drawn into their lives. This is not theory, it is observable in every corner of society. People who attempt to accumulate wealth without generosity often find themselves constrained by invisible limits, constantly striving yet never truly satisfied. In contrast, those who practice generosity experience the compounding effects of abundance. Giving acts like a signal flare, alerting the universe that you are aligned with the principle of circulation. When you give, whether it is money, time, expertise, or kindness, you are participe, aiding in a cycle that inevitably returns tenfold, not always immediately, but with certainty over time. One of the reasons this law is so effective is that it shifts the mind from scarcity to confidence. When you give freely, you are affirming an internal certainty that you will never be deprived. You are declaring that the universe is a limitless source and that your supply is continuous. This is a radical departure from the thinking of those who hoard, who obsess over each penny, and who fear that giving diminishes their security. True wealth is not measured by how much you keep, but by how freely you move with the currents of abundance. Gratitude and generosity work together because they both reinforce a sense of sufficiency and flow. Gratitude allows you to recognize the wealth already present, which raises your vibrational level and attracts more of the same. Generosity allows you to release without fear, which strengthens the flow and opens channels for greater prosperity. They are inseparable aspects of the same law. The practice of gratitude begins with conscious attention to all the riches already surrounding you. Do not wait for monumental wealth to be grateful. Notice the small gifts, the steady paycheck, the friendship that supports you, the skills that allow you to create, the opportunities that arise each day. Make it a habit to express appreciation, not just internally but externally. Speak words of thanks, write notes of acknowledgement, and act with recognition of the value in others. This habit amplifies the attraction of wealth because it conditions your mind to see abundance everywhere. Generosity, likewise, should be cultivated intentionally. Give beyond what is convenient or expected. Share your resources with those who need them, even when the return is not immediately apparent. Give ideas freely, give encouragement, and contribute to the growth of others without demanding compensation. Each act of giving multiplies the invisible flow, creating a feedback loop that brings unexpected and often substantial returns. Many people fear that generosity will deplete them. This is a misconception rooted in the belief that wealth is finite. In reality, the universe is infinitely abundant, and the act of giving positions you to receive in greater measure. The person who gives expects no loss because they understand the law of return. In fact, the act of giving increases confidence, opens the mind to new opportunities, and signals to others that you are a trusted conduit for wealth. These principles are particularly important for 2026 because the world is moving toward rapid expansion and redistribution of opportunities. Those who are willing to operate from a foundation of gratitude and generosity will naturally rise above those who cling, complain, and compete from a place of fear. Abundance is not a solitary pursuit, it is relational. Your capacity to attract wealth is directly proportional to your ability to contribute value to others and to recognize the abundance that already exists around you. By cultivating gratitude, you create a receptive environment within your mind and heart. By practicing generosity, you create a circulating energy that continually refreshes and magnifies your prosperity. Wealth is never static. It is dynamic, and those who understand the laws of circulation, who maintain a grateful heart and a generous hand, will always find themselves at the center of that flow. Even the most seemingly small acts of generosity can trigger powerful returns. A word of encouragement, a helpful gesture, or sharing a valuable connection can catalyze opportunities far greater than any immediate financial transaction. The universe measures not the quantity of the gift, but the sincerity of the act and the consciousness from which it is offered. Thus, true generosity is always accompanied by faith, confidence, and the understanding that giving does not diminish, but multiplies. The law of gratitude and generosity also has an internal effect. It transforms your consciousness. When you consistently give thanks and release resources freely, you begin to see wealth not as a finite commodity to be guarded, but as an infinite energy that responds to alignment, intention, and flow. This internal transformation is what separates those who accumulate wealth superficially from those who generate enduring prosperity. People who embrace this law are not only rich in money, but in opportunities, relationships, and influence. They become magnets for abundance because their internal state mirrors the invisible currents of the universe. Every rich person you observe who operates with ease understands this law, even if they do not articulate it. Their wealth is a reflection of a consciousness that practices gratitude daily and generosity without hesitation. They do not hoard fear. They do not obsess over scarcity, and they do not allow envy or comparison to cloud their judgment. They act in faith, give freely, and accept wealth as a natural consequence of living in harmony with universal law. This principle is so powerful that it can transform even those who have previously struggled financially. By consistently applying gratitude and generosity, you retrain your mind to recognize abundance. You break the patterns of scarcity thinking, and you place yourself in alignment with the inexhaustible flow of wealth. In 2026, those who understand and apply this principle will naturally rise above the masses. They will find that doors open effortlessly, opportunities multiply, and wealth manifests in forms both expected and surprising. Gratitude and generosity are not merely virtues, they are practical tools for attracting money, creating prosperity, and securing lasting abundance.